is SEC Media Week, Media Days, Media Circus, however you like it. It has turned into that. And my guest this week is someone I hope you're going to be seeing a lot with me this season. Dan Mullen, who was with us at ESPN, knows SEC Media Week well. Coach, we're just going to name the midweek show Matt and Mullen and Matt, however you like. Thanks for hopping on with me. Football season's here.
It is. And SEC, I'll tell you what, as a coach, that was always your wake-up call. Right. You know, you get into a couple weeks off in the summer, a little bit of a break. You roll back in, you jump on the plane with some of the players. Everything kind of feels like, hey, we're going to slowly build back into this. And you show up at the media circus of SEC Media Days and you realize summer's over. Everyone's ready for football. I mean, there's absolute mayhem going on from the minute you get off the plane all the way into the hotel where it's at. There's fans outside going crazy. There's people everywhere. I mean, cameras in your face right from the beginning. It's a scene now.
That's why I love having you on here this week in particular, because of course you were at Mississippi State and then you were at Florida. So you were a part of SEC Media Days for numerous years, and coaches will never tell you while they're coaching what they really think about. You'll never tell us. But now that you're on the outside of it, can you please, what do coaches really think of their day at SEC Media Day?
You have the mixed feeling, right? Which is the fun and the excitement of what makes SEC football so special is the passion of all the fans. And so when you show up and you see that passion, it gets you excited. It gets you kind of fired up for all of the fun and the energy. But then the ridiculousness of what am I doing, wasting an entire day, here when we're in Birmingham and you get in and it's when you're filming a room, of reading mean tweets, which is kind of funny. I mean, like part of it gets amusing. And then you're like, hey, I've answered this same question for the 30th time in a row, because you go from one room to the next, right. When they do it, you're in one room. And you get the questions. Then they take you out and put you in another room because not all the media can fit in one room. And you get the same exact question again. And you kind of are like, all right, I'm about at my breaking point by the end. I need to get out of here, get back to work and get some normalcy.
I find it that the timing of it can kind of be genius from the perspective of when you guys are in the middle of the season, you guys are in coach mode, season mode, and sometimes your temper or just your patience wears a little bit thin.
Really? I will say this. We do a game together. We're doing a game and you get your sideline people and I think I was with Taylor McGregor. I think it was. And she was like, hey, do you remember yelling at me coming off the field at halftime? I'm like, now I'm on the other side. I'm kind of like, sorry, just forget how I acted.
Yeah, but now you're coming off the offseason where you really haven't been bothered by any media. So theoretically, you should come into SEC Media Days in a good mood.
In theory, right? You have the two sides of it. If you've had a quiet offseason, then SEC Media Days is kind of fun. There's nothing good happens, right, in college football in the offseason if you're a coach. Either nothing happens or bad things happen, right? Where you're answering questions about what happened in the offseason. What about this discipline issue? Why is this going on? All the things that you don't really want to get into or that you've been dealing with that you don't want to wash out publicly when you're dealing with, in all of the issues you have. So, but when you do get there, I will say this, when you do like the fun rooms, when you're reading the tweets, when you're asked who your favorite movie character is or who should portray you go into these rooms and do some of the crazy ones. You're actually in a halfway decent mood, laughing to go do that you could never get done during the season.
And that's kind of, and I'll send the picture and we'll show it up here on the YouTube channel. Coach Mullen was always known for his shoe game. And we would send SportsCenter on the road. It was 2015, 2016, maybe 2017, but those 2 years for sure. And they would set my SportsCenter set right in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Out there at the hotel, at the Winfrey Hotel. And so when Mullen was at Mississippi State, it was his turn to come up on SportsCenter with me, but it was all of the talk about the shoes. And so we had to sit there and pose for a shoe. Yeah.
Hey, you know how that started? It's really fun. I do think I'm one of the trendsetters of the shoe with suits game.
Okay.
Right. So if you go back to the first year I did it, I went up, I'm from New England. So we're looking, U2 was playing a concert in Boston Garden. And whatever it is, I'm old. So the old Boston, the Garden,
right.
TD Ameritrade. I don't know. We'll get in trouble from them. So we'll go up there for the game to go to this concert. And then, and the guys at Adidas hook me up. I go up with them, some of my friends. I take some of the friends. We have a box up there. We're going to the U2 concert. They know I'm a huge U2 fan. So we go up there. Then the next day, I'm a huge Red Sox fan. So we're going to the Red Sox game. So the top guys at Adidas are like, hey, this would have been like last weekend. This is like 2 to 3 days before media days, the last stop of the summer. And they're like, hey, we have a new shoe. We have this new shoe that just came out, the Yeezy, the original Yeezy just came out. I'm like, okay. And they're like, if we sent you a pair, would you wear it for media days? And if you ever knew me, like when I work with the companies, right? Like I'm like, you pick what you want, whatever you're going to sell in the bookstore this week, what I'm wearing, you can hang it in the bookstore and I will wear whatever you put out. I'm like, good thing we don't deal with teleprompters all the time that you do. Cause I will read what is on the teleprompter. Like, hey, if you do this, okay, I'm doing it. So I'm like, I don't really know what a Yeezy is, but I'll wear it. And it became like such a huge deal that I wore the Yeezys to that original media day with a suit. And I think Bielema the next day tried to do it with like Air Force Ones and got laughed off stage. He's like, it's already been played. You're too late. And that kind of became my deal of what shoes I was going to wear at media days every day.
And that's the picture that I have of us. We were in front of the SportsCenter set and you've got the Yeezys on.
Which ones? The originals? Was that originals or was that year 2? Was that the?
I'll have to look. I am not a Yeezy connoisseur, so I don't know which version you were wearing. But I love that you now, because look, we see this all the time on TV, and people sometimes get after us like, why are you wearing sneakers with a suit? Respect the suit. But now we have you to blame for it, and I love it.
Hey, you know what? It's foot comfort with a little bit of style. I think as you've seen now, now we work together. I've toned it down just a little bit. I don't go as crazy as I used.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.